What up to the good people of YouTube? How you doing? I'm playing with my dog, and we're gonna. The topic today is if America's compromised, what can we do? And Tucker Carlson and Theo One have like some cool opinions about it. Man, at least I think I love Theo One. Tucker Carlson, like there was a video I did like 2 weeks ago where I spoke about that other idiot Pierce Morgan, and I mixed him up with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is the one who went solo. Like, yeah, I mixed them up. Tucker Carlson has my respect. Pierce Morgan is a clown. All right, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notification. Let's see what we can do.
Know exactly what this is. No, don't know a lot of the details. Could be wrong about this or that. But big picture, we know exactly what's going on. And I think at this point that if
I
all
love
the
my
information
dog.
on all these different threads, whatever it is, especially the murders, not just the recent murders, but or attempted murders, but the the more historical ones. If all the relevant information came out tomorrow, would we be surprised? No, we wouldn't. We know what's up, actually.
That's true.
And
That's true. I mean, like a lot of people are blindsided and they're ignorant to the fact what happened. But like these people are way more happy. But still, if facts came out tomorrow, we wouldn't be shocked because shocked is something you cannot do to us anymore. That's something you cannot. But what we be is like relief that it finally happened, and like we knew it finally. Like damn, we've gotten so numb to the point that news media outlets like rarely can really make us stunt, make us lose the gaps or like fill in the gaps.
there's enough evidence, but also our instincts tell us just by watching, like, what is this? And I agree with you completely. It's not just about Israel, this country. It's about whether or not self-government actually exists. Like, do any of these countries have a system where the people decide who their leaders are and what the country should do collectively? Not really. Or it's more complex than that. Yes, I think elections are to some extent real and all that, but in the end, the big decisions
To
are
some
made
extent.
not by nations or kings or presidents or whatever we imagine. They're made by, the world's richest people. And I don't think that's an ethnic group. It's not code language for the Jews. It's what it seems to be. It's the people with the biggest stake in this.
He's gotten really unhinged, and I like that. I absolutely like that. Like he's better on his own. He just is.
Who have the most to gain and the most to lose are never going to leave the big decisions to like 3 zip codes in Pennsylvania. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, son. Like, that's true. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not claiming, all elections are totally rigged or whatever. The source code belongs to Maduro. I'm not making any specific claims like that because I don't know if they're true or not. But I know the big picture. If we know that Kennedy was pushing up against some forbidden things, and that's why he was killed. And who killed him? Well, it's too easy to say it was this group or
CIA.
that group or this group. It was all those groups acting in concert or parts of those groups acting.
That's actually true. That's actually true. I think it's the CIA. Like with all, probably was one of the most secure streets, and you're telling me they didn't have a single suspect? Like, you cannot tell me that. That's complete dog water.
Concert, of course. That's all of what this is, right? Do you feel that?
I like what you said about if all the pieces came out, would you be that surprised? Like if they laid the cards completely out.
Epstein, for example, the one that everyone's
right. I feel like that whole thing
over.
is some sort of I think there's definitely stuff there, but then also it's been such a kickball and a ruse for so long.
Yeah.
It's like both political parties had a chance to put it out or to get. None of these people are operating on our behalf. That's what it feels like.
Well, that's kind of the truth that I'm talking about. That's what we would.
That's your reality,
That's what's
America.
It feels like
came out.
if we had
America.
Well, so many of us believe.
It's not if America's compromised, what can we do? It's America's compromised, what should we do? America is compromised. United States of Israel. I'm not talking bullshit or nonsense.
And have believed and have forefathers that have uh, spilt their blood and risked their lives, and have friends who are enlisted now um, to protect this thing that I feel like this idea of America.
Yes.
And then that idea has gotten super blurry in the past few years.
It has.
And especially at a time when I think a lot of people like, there's a lot of fears with like technology in the future and not knowing like where we're going to find our sense of purpose, right? That's a big thing that we talk about on this show a lot of our time is like, where do you find your sense of purpose? And people find it a lot of times
That's
in
true.
their job, through their family, in their country, through their religion, through their faith. So, some of those start to go away, and some of those even look blurrier for the future, almost like it's like Marty McFly when he looks at that picture and it looks like he doesn't even exist,
Yes.
And so it starts to make you think like,
I like
if
the
more of our
metaphor.
purpose disappears and our traditions are challenged by media over the years that they're wrong or they're racist or they're this or they're that, then you kind of end up with just, I don't know. It makes you feel like, well, what even is the value of me at a certain point?
I have the answer.
Okay. And I don't also want to sound too dour. Like I'm also looking at it from that perspective.
You're speaking for millions of people when you say this. Like everyone can feel, I think people feel exactly what you're saying.
And I still also feel like a lot of moments of hope of like,
that
like,
exactly
okay, so I focus on my
deep.
family. I focus on my friends.
That
I
exactly
focus
hit
on
deep.
doing something nice for someone. I focus on somebody else other than myself.
Exactly.
I do those things that do give you feelings of meaning and purpose, right?
Amen.
So anyway, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer, but go on.
I think just the opposite. And by the way, I just want to amplify what you just said because that is the answer. And those aren't just feelings of meaning and purpose. That's the definition of meaning and purpose is to love the people around you, not people you've never met, not abstract concepts, communism, fascism, Zionism, whatever your ideology is. No, it's people. That's what it means to live a meaningful life is to.
That's true, man. That's true, man. I mean, like if we all took that statement seriously, there would be no harm, like almost no misery in the world. Almost. There's no exceptions. Like there's always going to be an outstander. Always. But like, if we took that concept to heart, then I wouldn't need to carry about what happens to the people in Gaza, for example. No, the people in Gaza should be responsible for the people in Gaza. The people in Australia should be responsible for the people in Australia. The people in Switzerland should be responsible for the people in Switzerland and for the tourists who are visiting that country right now. So like if I visit Australia, they're in charge of me, right? When I'm in their country, I'm under their law, under their leadership, under their culture, way of doing things. So there shouldn't be like a big discussion. And if everybody did it right, but like war zones and less developed countries, they're getting abused. We take advantage of them.
Serve other people, and by other people, I mean people who are physically present, who are connected to you in organic ways, like your relatives, your friends, your coworkers.
These are the
roommates.
people.
The people God puts in your path. Those are the people you love. Your waitress. Like that's what it really means to love people. So that's number one, always love the people around you. And whenever I run into people like, I just want to save the world, or I want to come up with a new system to make everyone happy forever, and we're going to call it
work.
We're calling it
Ketamine.
AI or ketamine.
Yeah, and that's bailing out, dude. There's people falling asleep at the car wash. They just had a guy.
And if
he fell asleep in there.
Yeah, well, those of us who've already been down the drug path are a little skeptical of being saved by drugs.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also dangerous. Some of those brushes are sharp in there. Like I fucking fell asleep in that car.
Theo one is just
he
like
was in for 2 cycles. Yeah, they had a sedan that went through, and finally someone in the back seat saw him on the side. That dude was in there getting polished up.
And he was a ketamine casualty.
Yeah, he was ketamined up. He was all K'd out. He was in a K-hole or something.
man, I thought I've never done ketamine, but I do think, okay, so the first purpose is to love the people around you in your immediate orbit, and the second purpose is to tell the truth. So the one sentence description of the whole thing that you just laid out, the way you're
I
feeling,
can
is
get
that we're
behind that.
discovering that we actually don't have control
Yeah.
over anything big happening. We have no control.
Yeah.
Right.
And all this shit, all these systems that we've created
That's
and
true.
cherished and believed in
That's
and
true.
died for, as you said, were
Like
all
my karma, what I went through in my life, I'm starting to think that would have happened anyway. It would have not mattered what way I took. And that's crazy to think that everything's planned out, mapped out for your life. So whatever you're trying to do, it will not work if it's not your position to be in. Everybody has their role. Everybody has their different fulfillments they feel they find their purpose in.
in some sense illusory
That's
or
extra.
fake, because it gave us the false impression that we have control, whether it's over our government or the future or whatever.
That's
We don't
true.
have any control. We are on
Absolutely
a
true.
commercial airliner in a thunderstorm. Okay, that's
Yeah.
just what it is. And if you're in 17B, you have no control over whether the plane lands safely or crashes. You just don't. You have no control. We have to metabolize that, like accept that. And once you do, there's total freedom in that. I actually can't protect myself really. As we say in my family, our family motto is, there is no safety, there's only destiny.
I would love to show you that. My dog is standing here with a toy, looking at me, all sad. After the video, I'm gonna play with him. What did he say? Sorry, my
There
ADHD.
is no safety, there's only destiny. And that's
That's true. There's no safety. There's only destiny. And I think one of the best advice I got is you should sit in the passenger seat of your own life. Like the vehicle and the road you're driving on is the life, your life, and you should be in the passenger seat, not in the driver's seat. Passenger seat. Passenger is usually the one who navigates, more or less, right? If we stay on the metaphorical side, it's like that. So you should be in the passenger side and let the universe or God or whatever you believe in lead you. You should be led, and you will lose a lot less energy. I'm only 28, and I went through a lot, and I didn't come from from a poor background. I was never and didn't grow up in the hood. I didn't like that. I didn't have a bad childhood or thing, but I went through a whole lot of much. So if you go against the tide, and the tide is life, if you go against it, you will need energy, and that energy drains you, and eventually it will kill you. It sounds simple, but it's the fucking reality. You best believe it or don't.
the deepest truth of life. We're not the
Sorry.
authors of our lives. We can't really control that much about them, except a couple of things. Do we love the people around us, and do we tell the truth? And if you want to prepare yourself for the turmoil that's only going to accelerate, this is all obvious, all of us can feel. The reason we're all so freaking anxious is we can feel that this is the prelude to real turbulence. Every person, dogs can feel a thunderstorm coming 3 hours out. We can feel that.
Oh yeah, you'll see your neighbor just doing circles in the yard.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, we are the German Shepherds starting to freak out in the backyard because the weather's coming in. We can't see it, but they can feel it, and we can all feel that. So how do you protect yourself? Obviously, buy gold, stash ammo. I believe in all that. But really what you need to do is make yourself strong inside by collecting your people close to you, staying in close touch with them, and telling the truth, because telling the truth gives you spiritual power. The more you tell the truth, the more you are filled with supernatural power. You become invulnerable to the extent a human being can be. I'm telling the truth, and I don't care if you kill me. I really don't care, because what I'm saying is real, and it will outlive me. If you get into that habit, the exercise of just being honest as much as you can be, of course, you're a human being, so you lie all the fucking time because you can't help it. But if
I've learned the theory of manifestation. And I can absolutely get behind that. Since my addiction, I started to tell the truth all the time. Like, so I couldn't manipulate myself. If I told the truth from the get-go, there would be no way for me to deceive myself, because I told people, yeah, I'm an addict. Alcohol, not, yeah, whatever. If I tell them that I had a problem with liquor in my early days, they won't test me to drink, because if I'm early is honestly in German. If I'm honest from the beginning, they won't push me to other shit, and they cannot manipulate me, and I can manipulate myself because I told the truth. If I don't tell them, there will be always like, why didn't I tell them? Maybe I want to keep that door open or closed. Maybe there will still be an option. But if you tell the truth, you help yourself.
You keep doing that, you'll be filled with a spiritual power that is stronger than any other.
Fuck the steps of the AA program. I didn't do that. But still, telling the truth is a good one. And there's some points that I really think that are good.
Do you believe that our country is compromised?
Do I believe it's compromised?
I know it's compromised.
Yeah, I do.
Do you believe that it's reversible?
Yes. Yes.
You know, I believe so. I mean, again, I'm so old. I'm 56. So, like, I just grew up believing in everything, you know?
You're younger than Leanne Morgan. We just had her in here.
Really?
Have you ever listened to her?
No.
Oh
Does
my
she
gosh.
seem old?
No, she's great, dude. Both of you guys look great. That's
really?
her.
She's older than I am?
Yeah, she told me she was, unless she was lying.
I don't believe her.
There's that new thing.
A lot of women do that. They pretend to be a lot older. That's like the true Jedi move for a woman, to be like, actually, I'm 61. Like, a conventional woman will always be like, actually, I'm 29, but the really smart ones will be like, I'm almost 70.
Yes. That's how they do it. I think that's
right.
She's a wonderful, beautiful comedian, and she's hilarious. But anyway, she was a senior, but she's 60 years old. Both
I
y'all
bet
look
she uses nicotine.
great. I bet she does. She did smoke, she said, in college.
Yeah, see, and look what it did for her.
And she wears tight bras because she says it keeps her awake.
All right.
I love her. But
well,
but yeah, do you think it's like, and I guess that's a big question. And also going back to what you said a little bit ago, like you said, but then I look at the history of time and it's like people have always been under the thumb of some type of rule, haven't they?
Of course.
And so for us to be like, I mean, it's weird. It's like
there's always going to be somebody,
you know, like you're just being like there's some sort of oppression, and even as people that can feed themselves, we're not as oppressed as so many other people, or people that if they turn on the light, they're afraid it's going to activate a bomb in the corner of their room.
I had dinner with a guy who works for us last night, literally last night, and I said, "Where were you born?" He goes, "I was born in Eritrea, but I grew up in a Sudanese refugee camp. I came to the United States." He's an amazing guy and a wonderful, wonderful guy. But I was like, gosh, you know, I'm from La Jolla.
Right.
It's like, stop whining. Dude, this is my internal dialogue. Stop whining. Stop whining. I had to fly Southwest yesterday. Oh, no one suffered more than me.
Yeah, La Jolla. But La Jolla is for sure the lap of luxury of America.
Oh, yeah. And almost every single childhood friend of mine was totally destroyed. Actually.
Really?
Not all, but most. Oh, for sure.
Just by the
drugs.
Wow.
Drugs.
And good drugs too.
Oh, the best. They did not put baby lax.
The best. These people.
Our cocaine growing up. Oh. No. That was a ghetto thing.
Yeah.
No. We
had
it was almost blue.
We had to wear diapers. It had so much baby laxative. It came with diapers. It came with fucking Huggies, bro. That shit. We had some stuff we bought.
Yeah,
off
no. I grew up in a. But anyway, the point is,
right. The point is though that there's always been some sort of like. There's always been a rule. There's always been something like that. I think that, but
the older you are, the sadder it is to see your illusion shattered, and the harder it is to pivot. So if you talk to people who are like 23 and you're like, I think the moon landing's fake, they're like, yeah, Gramps, it was always fake. Like, what are you talking about?
Right. Who the fuck thought that was real? Look at the video one time.
Exactly. So that's
that is kind of crazy.
A friend of mine,
absolutely crazy,
insane, but was a genius, called James.
It's absolutely they're right. They described it the best way possible. I mean, like, who thinks the moon landing is real?
Carville. once said to me, he goes,
James Carville from the Democratic Party is from Louisiana.
oh, he lives in New Orleans. Oh, yeah. No, I know him well. And he's gone crazy and whatever, but he really was in his prime like a genius and someone I listened to very carefully. And he once said to me, I'll never forget, we're in a restaurant in some foreign country, and he goes, you know, people misunderstand the theory of evolution. And I was like, I can't even do his accent, but he'd be like, survival of the fittest, that's bullshit. That's not what he was saying. And I said, well, what was he saying? He goes, it's survival of the most flexible. It's adaptability.
Yeah.
And he had this whole incredible rap about strength is not actually the quality that helps you persevere in the face of change. It's
That's true.
flexibility, the ability to pivot with changes that you can't control.
It's not the mass, it's the sail.
Exactly. And in fact, strength can be a feature of, or rigidity can be a feature of strength. Like your window pane is strong as hell. It'll last 200 years, but if you tap it, it'll just shatter. No, you need to be able to move with
the flow,
the moment,
current events.
And so I feel like young people are in a pretty good spot.
That's what a lot of people say. And that's why Nokia died, for example. They were one of the best, but they did so good. They developed such good products that they did not need the follow-up. And that hurts your product as well. So.
But yes, for older people, it's very upsetting. I'm sure you feel it. You're much younger than I, but you still feel it like, oh my gosh, I thought this was real and it's not. And it's like heartbreaking. It's crushing.
I see it a lot in like just my probably my mother and things like that, see their disappointment kind of, or just uncertainty about what's going on.
And they love the country so much. Yeah. It's real. It's sincere love too.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like it's something that's beautiful that you felt like was a certain way. And now maybe some ethnicities and cultures didn't feel like it was that way. And so sometimes I can understand that there's different points of view there, but I still believe that the idea of America and what it's been, and that its goals, and that the humans that want it to be that it's altruistic, you know?
100%.
But that you start to realize, oh, that these powers above us, they have something different going on, and that you would think that they would, I guess they just won't tell us, you know? And so I think that's where some
But back to the question, is it reversible? Yes, it is, definitely. It's always possible to cut out the cancer. Always. And I think we're in for a hell of a change. Either like they manage to get around that curve, I'm a little bit sad that they did not go into depth of that. But never mind. They had some good aspects and they had some good examples.
My fear is it's just like,
well, evil thrives in darkness. So there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's like, what does it mean to be part of something moving forward? What does that thing even look like? You used to believe that everybody that was elected was campaigning for America first, right? Like America first was the thing.
That's our system, right?
But that's not what's going on.
Well, it's of course just the opposite. I mean, look at the country. So the country,
they're helping other people.
The people are bad because of bad leadership.
Yeah,
leadership is everything. I used to, you get brainwashed growing up here, and you're like, no, what really matters is how most people feel. No, what really matters is the willingness of your leaders to actually die for you, as you would for your children. Like, it's that simple. If they love you, they will. Your country will prosper. If they hate you, it will fail. It's super simple. They don't like us. Okay, got it.
And what do you think that we could do differently? I know that John Rich on your show, that one thing that was interesting, he said that he felt like a lot of Americans have just kind of cowered and watched this kind of happen. You know,
don't be a bitch. Yeah,
he was pretty adamant about it.
Don't
he
ever
was
be
like,
a bitch. Yeah, that's right.
He was
stand up
about
for what you believe
about Americans, that they've just kind of cowered and sort of let this
you always got to stand up on
evil policies, evil things come in and not stood up for their own voices or stood up against their own fears. Do you think that that's true?
Oh gosh, it's the truest thing. I participated in it. There are plenty of things I just like, I don't want to deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Or I might.
Oh yeah. What I'm asking if it's true, dude.
Take a loss.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do too.
It's not. I hate to point. One of your, as I said a minute ago, one of your tics, verbal tics that I want to emulate and I want to be like this, is you preface every attack or assessment of someone else with a self-critique. You're like, I've done a lot of shitty things, but I think that person's doing a shitty thing. Like, I think that's a really good habit to get into, just because Righteousness is good, self-righteousness is evil, and there's a big difference.
Well, your ego is very scary. That's a thing.
So scary. It's the scariest thing.
It's the scariest thing.
That's what kills you, if you're a man anyway, for sure.
The ego is very scary. But yeah, have there been where is the leadership supposed to come from now? Like, if we can't believe that our politicians are going to guide us, right?
Well, the system is obviously changing, just like the media.
The system is changing, the media is changing, the whole world order will be shifted. We will have a shifting in history that has never been seen before. Never. And I think the time's over for America to be number one. I think there will be another one who fills in that spot. Believe me.
Okay, I went into this in 1991. I could write 10 books on how different it is.
Yeah.
Everything about it, not just my perceptions of it, but the systems itself are totally different. And so systems evolve, and we're clearly at
Evolve
the end
and
of something
adapt.
and the beginning of something else. And I can't know with any precision what we're moving into, but clearly it's not going to be like what we had. Like, we know that.
Yeah.
Because this system doesn't work. It doesn't produce anything worth having. It's obviously dishonest in a transparent way. A lie doesn't infuriate you unless you know it's a lie. Now we know it's a lie. So by definition, we can't keep doing this. And Barry Weiss can be like, anyone who disagrees with Netanyahu is now imprisoned, and you can do that. And I'm sure she would love to do that. But it's still not going to work.
Oh,
because you're
boy.
going to have prisons full of people who still disagree with Barry
over.
Weiss. Like, you can't change people's minds by force. It has never worked and it never will. So our system is reaching the end of something. I hope it's not. I love our system. I hope it's not destroyed. But clearly, it's going to change. It has to. It will.
It
has
to
to.
happen fast, though.
It's going to happen fast. And
Yeah, especially with AI, it's gonna happen so fast. And I think this year or next year will be the year. Honestly.
I hope it's not too destructive. I don't want chaos, man. That is
on
I've seen
anarchy.
that in foreign countries, and it's scary. There's nothing scarier than that.
Is there?
It happened in your state. It happened I saw it during Katrina. Whew.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Just for a day or two where there's no cops, and there are kids running around with guns and like shooting. I was right next to a guy who got shot to death. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I always talk about there's no peaceful way to change a regime, but the violent way isn't the one you actually want. Believe me, it's scary. And if you've been in Yemen or like Indonesia or all these countries where they have an active regime change and a civil war ongoing, you would just not. That's the statement. No matter who Americans vote for, in quote, they always get Netanyahu. All these decisions are made by sociopaths and psychopaths. Kind of the problem, actually is. Our politicians would sooner kill every single one of us before giving the power to feed their own fantasies, like Lindsey Graham fancying himself as a brave warrior. Oh, man. I can see the resemblance. System will change. How fast? That's for us to see. And up until then, wait for me with a new video. I'm out. Peace out, guys.